So, da sind wir nochmal vom Bauspielbahn-Treffen 2022 in Schkeuditz. Ich hoffe, ihr könnt uns sehen und hören, da hier oben schon wieder angezeigt wird, dass wir Netzwerkschwierigkeiten haben. Neben mir ist, kurz zur Erklärung, wir sprechen jetzt wieder Englisch. Wir arbeiten hier so ein bisschen die internationalen Aussteller gerade ab. Also ja, hört zu, bestauntes Mock, solltet ihr nichts verstehen, aber ihr macht das schon. So, neben mir sitzt, next to me is sitting Donut from Hungary. Is that right?
Yes, I'm from Hungary, from Budapest.
From Budapest. How old are you? And yeah, where you come from is Budapest, klar. But how old are you?
I'm by now 34, and I'm doing this Lego train hobby for 12 years. 12 years by now, so I started it after getting out of childhood.
All right. And in your childhood, you have Lego too?
Yes, I always had Lego since I was 6, but there were no sets, only just gifted Legos, parts, a limited number. But with my brother, we always imagined everything and could build everything from this limited pool of parts.
But it's a perfect the perfect start for what you do right now, isn't it?
Yes, it was a perfect start because I learned how to do everything, how to plan and create from limited amount of bricks, and later I could purchase new ones. The world gets just opened in front of me.
All right, and what you build is very huge, very impressive, and we want to show us to the audience. So here we go. What we can see.
Here is my train station, one of the endpoints of my train station. Basically, I started with trains only because I started to go to university by trains, and I decided to play with trains for real. But I decided to stick with Lego because I had many Lego parts at home by this time. So I started with one train and a single station, then a bigger station for more trains. Now I have 10 trains. I need still a bigger station, so it's a never-ending story.
The picture we see is a little bit blurry. That is very sad, but it's trying to getting better. Just for the explanation for you, it's because of the network. So it doesn't will be better on YouTube, but we try our best to show the people outside what you have. And one comment is right there. I from SBB Flirt. I greet you from them.
Oh, thank you very much.
You know where who that is?
No, I just I can recognize the nickname because SBB is the Swiss Bundesbahn, and the flirts are the most popular products of Stadler, the railway manufacturer company. So everyone liking flirts like me, I have built 5 of them from Lego bricks. So hi.
So what we see here is your signals. You're very proud of the signals because they are the only signals in the whole exhibition who works actually.
Yeah, that's not totally true. This is the light signals working, and they are working based on train detection. So if a train passes, all 3 signals go back to red, and the train passes a red signal, then it gives a clinging, ringing noise on my laptop, and it will warn the controller that someone just passed the red signal. So, but we have others with working simple old signals, but they have no train detection. So the best part is detecting the trains and setting routes for the trains, and this is controlling the signals.
All right, and how does the detection work?
The Lego once produced distance sensors. This sensor can measure short distance if there is any object there or not, and I use these sensors to detect trains. And if the train is passing in front of the sensor gets busy, and the section after the sensor will be getting busy with the train. So I can't give any route for other trains to the busy section based on the detection.
All right. Um, one second. Mipi, tu mir bitte mal den Gefallen, weil ich glaube, das Bild ist, es wird besser. Aber könntest du noch mal ganz kurz rein rausgehen? Also noch mal neu starten kurz. We will restart the camera because I believe we have now a better connection and we are in HD and she is not. And we make the experience in the couple of last days that a restart or a reconnection sometimes fix the problem because you have a great module and we want to show it the best way we can. So we try to reboot the camera now. It take just a few seconds. So there she is again. You see. So let us look. It's yeah. It's look. Yeah, it's definitely got better, and now we have the signals, and maybe you can see if you look closely if they are on or not.
Yes, they are on the red lights. Red lights because it's the basic aspect of every signal. They are only free when it's a train foregoing, right? But I think guys are not running enough trains today.
Not running enough trains today because I mean, how many trains are on the track?
I can make a guess, but it's surely more than 150.
I believe the same. Yes. Okay. What's about the building in the left corner? Where comes the inspiration for it?
Basically, which is true for all my layout, it's a rural Hungarian environment with a freshly renewed, refurbished mainline track. But we in Hungary we keep many old buildings from the early 90s. They build the standardized buildings, but we are not destroying them, but renewing them. So this station building is a quite simple station building which can be found at many stations. So it's not a real station building. It's inspired by the real ones, but I can't say that it is the building of that station.
All right, yeah, I understand that. It's funny because Mate was in the interview too, and he is from Hungary too, and he said nearly the same. So he said he was inspired by his hometown, but it doesn't look like it's exactly.
Yes, it has a quite understandable reason behind that. It is better to model an existing station with existing buildings and track geometry and things, but it's to make it proportional and good. It's a really big step to make forward, not just in building and time, but this type of mood we need for it. And we have also many trains, and most of the Hungarian station has 5 or 6 tracks or even less, and we have many trains to store. So if I build more storage tracks, then it is not that station anymore. So I won't call it is XY station because it's not. It's a fantasy station, but it has the mood of the Hungarian stations.
You also build fantastic trains. The dark brown, is it right?
It's the color of Lego, dark orange.
Dark orange, the dark orange train. What kind of train is it, and what functions does it have? Because you are one of the exhibitioners who has, in my feeling, multiple functions all over the place.
Yes, thank you. This is the Stadler Flirt train of the SOB. I think it's the Schweizerische Südostbahn. And it has interior lights, front tail lights. It could be switched. And basically, the best part in this train that is it's built from dark orange. Dark orange has a really limited palette in shapes of different Lego bricks, and it's also really rare, a quite new color. And the real train is colored like copper, and I found this is the nearest Lego color, but it was really hard to gather all the parts for it because they are rare, they are expensive, and I had to make careful plans in digital plans to see if I can have those shapes.
So you are a builder who builds only with Lego bricks. Did I understand that right?
It's almost right. The only thing which is not Lego in my builds is the S-brick control. It gives more freedom and more functions, but I'm not using stickers, not using glue, no 3D printed parts. I try to design the look only with original Lego parts, and it means the non S-brick electrics, so the lights, the motors, the cables, the train detection, the sensors. I use only Lego electronics except for this driving and controlling system.
For sure. FX brick, S brick was what I heard many times, especially in trains. That's a normal thing. Everybody does. But I just ask it because of the color, because other companies might have the color, but you don't want them from Lego. You want them from Lego.
Yes, if some parts don't exist in Lego for a different color, like we don't have green train frames, window frames, then it's up to me to build it from different many small parts. And I think this is the way to go. So maybe we will never have green train windows anymore, but you can build your own train windows using smaller parts. It's not technique, it can be done. Maybe there is a green train coach visible at my station at the end of the other train, and you can see the green frames I built from smaller bricks.
Maybe we'll see it later. It's somewhere over there. Um, but it's also an interesting challenge you have with that quality standard you have, that you say, okay, if Lego doesn't have the windows in green, I build it by myself, and don't go to any other company who maybe have that color.
Yes, it's challenging, but I set this standard for me, so I'm not expecting anyone to do the same. And okay, maybe they are buying bricks not produced by Lego, but I think we should cook from what we have. And if Lego gives us these parts, okay, we can have these. And also, all of our trains, and not only me, but Mate trains, we can run on the very tight radius of 40 studs, which is the radius of the original switches. So all our trains can handle the original Lego truck. We buy the other products because Lego will never release wide radius switches and curves, and it will be a new standard in Europe to have the R104 radius for curves and points. We will buy them; they look good. The trains look better on it, but we will always strictly stick to the rule that every train in our club must run R42.
It's an interesting rule and it's challenging too, and I like it, and the audience or part of the audience like it too. In the picture at the moment, we see lots of power supplies and a laptop. How how many power supplies you need to run all your model?
It's an interesting fact because I have the 9-volt system installed on my station, but I run every of my trains from batteries. I have the 9-volt and the electrified rail only for those who are still sticking to the 9-volt to give the backward compatibility for other exhibitors. So I don't need it, but I will give it to others. They can drive their trains on my layout. I have three main tracks. There are three speed regulators for these tracks. And I have also two more speed regulators giving power to my S-brick stuff.
It's a nice move for exhibition that you take care of other users that cross your model. I like it.
Well, in our Hungarian log, there are some older members, over 40, and they have these old train motors. they won't replace to the remote control or infrared or Bluetooth ones. And I still want to play with them together on a layout. It's a very important factor. The other thing is that the metal race looks simply much more better than the original plastic ones. So if we can have the metal tracks, I will stick to it even if I never using the electrified option of the track because it looks better.
Yeah, definitely does. The building in the background, what's that about? It looks like a church.
Yes, it's a church with a cemetery. I found out more than 5 years ago that people don't. They are building the church, but not the cemetery part because it's sad. But I think it's part of village scenery, and there should be a cemetery next to the church.
Of course, yeah, natural landscaping.
Mostly, but I'm really limited to the storage capacity of my car. So everything which is not trains is really basic because I can't fit my passenger car with this layout anymore.
All right, the train, right in frame. What color is it? White, blue?
It's blue, orange, and white, and the light bluish gray.
Ah, light bluish gray on the top.
Yes, on the top.
I was confused about the color shape. What kind of train is it, and how long do you need to build such a big train? Because they are, yeah, in my feeling, they are a lot bigger, and of course, a lot longer than anything Lego had.
Well, we in our log we are really trying to scale everything down to our proportions, which is 1 to 45, and these cars in real are over 26 meters, so it means 72 studs in car body length. And this train set is an original Hungarian build. This is the last one of the trains Hungary built for their own. After 89, many of our factories were closed. This is one of the last products of the Hungarian railway manufacturers. And that's the only reason I built it because it's an older train set. There was only 3 of them to be built, but I really like it. And the design was very new and fresh in the 90s. Maybe she's looking old by now, but the train fans in Hungary, not only Lego, but the trains fan, we really like this electric motor unit.
It looks still fresh. Um, so tell us, you're also building some landscaping, like here in the front. Um, what's about that? It looks like some workers are doing something.
Yes, they are just some workers. They are cutting the woods and piling it up. But truly said, it wasn't set up by me, but my girlfriend who accompanied me for this journey. And while I'm really focused on trains and railway infrastructure, she noticed that I'm not taking enough care of this scenery. So she set up everything. And as I mentioned, I have a really limited storage space in my car, so we do everything not pre-built like others, the modules for the station, but we have green base plates. They are empty, and we have a lot of stacks, bags of different plants and scanner elements, and we are always improvising. So if there is a left out a little space with only the black textile on, then we will put the rest of our stuff there.
For every exhibition new? So you're improvising every exhibition?
The station is strictly what you can see, but we are always improvising the position of different buildings, the forests, and the little landscaping details. It's always based on what we need, what we want to feel, because I think, and this is another rule or standard of ours, we want to keep stick to that we don't like the empty spaces. We don't like if the rail is just running on the table and we have no base plates and ballasting and scenery around it. We still have little spots, but because of this rule, we always keep some flexible stuff which can be installed even in the first morning of the exhibition when we discover that there is a single empty space somewhere.
And still it looks great. I've seen you have also thousands of rocks in your tracks. Do you know how many?
It's over 10,000. Until 7,000, I was counting the parts, but after that, no. Just the small one by one plates of in different light gray colors.
It looks so great, but it's a hell of work. How long do you think are you working on this model like it stays right there?
Whew, I can tell you that I'm doing this for 12 years by now. It's getting bigger and bigger, growing year by year. I can't even count the hours I put in it, but
But 12 years on this whole model, or did you say in the first year, ah no, I don't like that, I start something new?
I had different steps, but I was always thinking about for the future. So mostly I don't have to dismantle a thing I built before because it was well planned by the start, and the track geometry, the platform width, uh, it's not changing. So I can just give additions, but I have still models from the very first of the original one.
12 years of history of your building development, if you like. So um, I saw a green train on the left of you. You know, yeah. Are this is this train you said about the windows?
Yes, these are the green windows. This is an old Y car. It's called it's the series, the Y car, and it has the windows built from really small bricks. Even there is a it. I'm sure it won't be visible, but 10 years ago, smoking was allowed on Hungarian trains, and there was a small wall which separated the smoking and the non smoking part. And where the small wall is inside the car, the separation, the spacing between two windows, it's a little wider. And I built it from Lego bricks. It's a half plate difference.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So many detail in the train that you can't actually see it from outside, or?
No, it can be seen. It's only for the real railroad modelers. We participating events because they invite us for other age null and TT and N models, and we can have the L models with them. And those who are knowing the Hungarian passenger cars well, they spot these small details, and they also spotting if you haven't built it.
All right, all right. You mentioned a Lego club you are in. Is it just a club, or is it a look in Hungary?
It's an informal group of friends, so we are not registered to the Lego company. We don't have the time and the moods to do this. Or we are just friends. We have the same hobby, building trains. We have common standards. We are meeting, we do meetings when we can, and the only rule, which is quite strict, that we accept only new members if anyone is accepting the request of the new member. So everyone must be accepted by everyone.
All right. So one question is, there are those window frames with the green mass of the overhead line.
Y- yeah, I got it. I used 1 by 2 by 3 green frames. They were quite cheap 10 years ago, but now they are really expensive and really hard to get.
It, I'm running out of words because looks so amazing. But I'm sorry to say that, but we're also running a little bit out of time. Donut, do you have one spot on your model that you say we haven't seen it right now, but you want to show it to the audience especially?
I don't think so. We covered almost everything.
So then yeah, I would like thank you. I would like to thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you that you show us your model and tell us the details. I hope you had fun on this experience here with me on the couch. I hope you had fun on the whole exhibition because in half an hour it's over. Um, yeah, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the interview. And yes, I really enjoyed it. And I was in Vienna 2013 at KidFest. And since then, it was my first international event. And this is about just Lego trains. And I was really happy to get here last year. I didn't manage it because of the COVID regulations, and I couldn't travel here from Hungary. But it was totally worth for the time for travel, renting the van, building for 2 days, operating. It was really hot here, but it's an experience that everyone who loves Legos and trains must participate once.
I believe the same way. I love the exhibition and for especially the people you meet from the organization, from Elbrick, the exhibitioners, the salesmen, for especially. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you for the interview.